Hey everyone, how would your life change if you were to win the lottery? Maybe you'd buy a new car, or a new house, or take a dream vacation. Some people might say they wouldn't change anything at all. They're happy with who they are and what they have. But most of us would change at least something. But what if you had not just enough for a new car, or a down payment on a house, but endless money? In this video, we'll explore what it would be like if you suddenly had access to infinite funds. Endless money problems. When you think about someone with infinite money, you probably imagine a supervillain like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. And while some of these mega-rich people do use their fortunes for good, there is also a downside to having so much money. For starters, managing that much money is no easy feat. Sure, you could hire accountants and financial managers to help you out, but even then, there's still the risk of mismanagement. Enron, WorldCom, and Bernie Madoff are just a few examples of high-profile cases where embezzlement and accounting errors resulted in massive losses for investors. Imagine trying to keep track of billions of dollars. Even one small mistake could cost you millions. In addition to that, you'd need to be constantly aware of people trying to scam you. Fraudsters would be lining up to try to separate you from your cash. And unfortunately, many of them would likely succeed because there is no amount of money that could buy you an infinite amount of due diligence. If you aren't careful, it only takes one slip-up to lose everything. The famous quote, "A fool and his money are soon parted," has never been more relevant. Not to mention that having infinite money doesn't necessarily mean you have infinite resources. For example, how would you get your hands on a new iPhone whenever Apple releases one? Surely they would sell out in seconds, leaving you empty-handed. Similarly, if you wanted to charter a flight from New York to Los Angeles, you'd likely have to book well in advance because private jets are always in demand. That is, unless you want to fly standby on the same plane as Tom Cruise. And let's not forget about the mundane aspects of having endless money. Have you ever tried to find a parking spot in a crowded city? Now imagine trying to find a parking spot for your yacht. Or what about getting a table at the hottest new restaurant? With infinite money, you'd have to plan months in advance just to eat a nice meal. So even with infinite funds, it would still take time and effort to get what you want. Another problem is that having too much money can actually be depressing. Studies in positive psychology show that there is a link between income and happiness. But once your basic needs are met, making more money does not necessarily make you happier. In fact, it can do the opposite. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that those with higher incomes were more likely to report being depressed than those with lower incomes. The researchers believe that this is because people with more money have more to lose. They are more likely to experience negative emotions such as envy and greed, which can lead to depression. So if you had infinite money, you might be at risk of becoming depressed because of all the things you have to worry about. The perks of endless money, of course. With great wealth comes great perks. For starters, you would never have to worry about money again. You could spend your days doing whatever you want without worrying about how much it costs. Want to take a spontaneous trip to Paris? Sure, why not? Fancy a new pair of shoes? Go for it. With infinite money, you would be able to afford anything you want. It would also give you a lot of freedom. You wouldn't have to work a job you hate just to pay the bills. You could quit your job and pursue your dreams. Want to be a full-time artist? Go for it. Always wanted to open your own business? Do it. Having infinite money would allow you to pursue your passions without worrying about money. And let's not forget about the charitable things you could do with infinite money. You could donate to your favorite causes and make a real difference in the world. You could end world hunger or fund a cure for cancer. The possibilities are really endless. You would also have access to the best of everything. The best food, the best hotels, the best seats at the hottest concerts. You would be able to live the life of luxury if you chose to. And here's an interesting thought. With infinite money, you could pretty much buy anything you want, including another planet. In 2016, the New York Times reported that the billionaire Elon Musk was considering buying an entire planet. He said that he was looking into the possibility of purchasing the planet Venus or Mars. Now, we don't know how serious he was about this, but it is possible to buy a planet if you have the money. Of course, there is no real market for planets, so you'd have to make an offer and hope that the seller accepts. But if you had infinite money, you could afford to be picky. You could look around until you found the perfect planet for you, and then buy it. It might not be easy, but with infinite money, it would certainly be possible. Now, we don't know about you, but we would love to own our own planet. Imagine having a piece of property all to yourself. No more crowded beaches or traffic jams. Just you and your own private paradise. Plus, you could do whatever you wanted with it. Build a massive water park or create your own little town. The possibilities are really endless. However, owning a planet comes with its own set of challenges. For example, what if you wanted to visit your new home? You would need to find a way to get there. And that might not be easy, especially if you're not a billionaire with a rocket ship. Then there's the issue of what to do with the planet once you get there. Do you turn it into a vacation destination for the rich and famous? Or do you leave it alone and just enjoy the fact that you own it? We don't know the answers to these questions, but what we do know is that owning a planet would be a challenge. After all, it's not like you can call up your local Home Depot and ask them to install a swimming pool. As you can see, having endless money is not all sunshine and rainbows. There are definitely some perks to it, but there are also some challenges. Ultimately, we think it would be worth it. Who wouldn't want to have endless money? What about infinite time? Now that we've covered both sides of the coin, it's time to take a look at the other side of the coin. What would life be like if you had infinite time? Unlike money, time is something we all have in equal measure. We all have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. But what if you had infinite time? How would that change your life? If you had infinite time, you could do everything you ever wanted to do and never have to worry about running out of time. You could watch every movie ever made, read every book ever written, travel to every country in the world. You could learn anything you want, meet anyone you admire. With infinite time, you could have it all. You would never have to worry about deadlines or appointments. You could take your time to do things because you literally have all the time in the world. And you wouldn't have to worry about wasting time either. Every second counts when you only have a limited amount of it. But if you had infinite time, you could relax and enjoy the moment. Imagine sitting on a beach on a sunny day, the gentle breeze blowing through your hair, the sound of the waves crashing in your ears. You have nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one to impress. You are truly free. This is what it would be like to have infinite time. With infinite time, you could do anything you want. You could start that business you've always dreamed of, write that novel, paint that masterpiece. You could follow your passions and never have to worry about the consequences. You could fail miserably at something and just pick yourself up and start over. With infinite time, there is no risk. You would also have the opportunity to connect with people on a deeper level. You could have meaningful conversations, build relationships that last a lifetime. You could make a difference in the world. With infinite time, you could change lives. So how would your life change if you had infinite time? Would you use it wisely? That's a question only you can answer. And you thought you had a lot of homework to do this weekend.